We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this special report.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Let me bring him on. A-Train, he's having some computer issues, I'm assuming. Is that right, buddy? You're having video issues? I don't hear him. But, ladies and gentlemen, you know Dirty. Dirty hates to wear red at all. But I am wearing a certain hat today for a certain individual. Ladies and gentlemen, literally, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Jordan Ta'amu. What's up, my brother?
What's up, Dirty? How you doing?
I'm doing beautiful, man. Look, look, there's Arlington. Look at Arlington chime
With
in.
the red on, too. I love it.
Yeah, with the red on. Now, Jordan, look, I mean, I don't like wearing red, but I'm only rocking the Defenders hat because your team, literally, we walked into D.C. and you made the Battle Chickens walk out looking terrible. First and foremost, how was it playing against your old team? First and foremost.
I mean, it was some people called it the revenge game. Some people called it, the Battlehawk versus Jordan Ta'amu game. But it was very cool, getting to, see the Battlehawks uniforms across, the sidelines, and just being able to go out there and, see the coaches, the players, see AJ, and all of that.
Bro, I mean, I gotta say, I've been watching you. Arlington's gonna bring it up, so I'm just gonna call myself out. I was kind of dogging on you, saying Jordan ain't playing up to Jordan's potential.
Yeah.
But dude, like, what was it, man? I mean, you showed out Saturday, bro. Possibly your best game so far in 2023 of the XFL. Like, was it because you had Bruno, or was it just because it just finally started clicking?
I just think, every week, starting from week one, we got better each week. And every time I go back into, the film study the next day, I try to find what I need to get better at. And I just felt like we were clicking this week, throughout the whole day of practice. I mean, this week, our emphasis was starting fast and getting on top and just making plays.
Yeah, so, like, look, okay, Arlington, you got a question? Because I could keep going. Right, Arlington, I've seen him play twice already. I've seen him in Vegas. So I know you got something, because I want to talk to him about Vegas, how I marked out for his parents.
Yes, we'll get that in a second. Jordan, you had your best game, 11 of 20 of 196, a touchdown, no interceptions. Man, just kind of take us through the process of that game, because a lot of that was you using your legs, and then you also made big plays. There was a big 58-yarder that happened during the game. What was going through your mind at that moment during the game?
My thing is, I'm always thinking when I'm on that field, and going out there, I was like, I'm just gonna take what they give me. I'm just gonna go out there, play my game, play smart, take care of the ball, and everything will present itself. And once we started playing, moving fast, and I was making the right reads, everything started opening up, and that's what it is. It takes all 11 of us. And I told our guys from the jump, if all 11 of us do our job, we're going to be hard to stop. And, for this week, we kind of clicked at all cylinders, offense, defense, and special teams a little bit. So just doing that would help me a lot and gain that confidence back.
Now, Jordan, let me ask you this. You were the spring league of the USFL's MVP. You led the league in passing and all that. But here's the thing that I've noticed with USFL and the XFL, and even in 2020. Explain to me, why is it taking 3 and 4 weeks for teams to really start clicking? Is it because of the lack of the training camp, or explain that? Like, why is it taking 3 to 4 weeks for teams to really start clicking?
I think it is because of the training camp. I mean, we only got 3 or 4 weeks, and then coaches have to make a decision, and then if the guys don't reach up to our standard, which we have a high standard here with the defenders, then you get released, and then new guys come in and like right before the season starts, so you barely get to build that chemistry with them. And I liked how we did it in 2020, where we came in November, December, around that time, and then we got to go home for break and then come back, and then that's when we established like our real team and had actual 4 to 5 weeks to prepare with our team. So I think all that just needs to hopefully get improved to build chemistry with the teammates and with the coaches.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
All right, so we got a question from one of our fans. You said, haven't you been on the Chiefs? How complex is Andy Reid's offense? Offense.
Offense, yeah.
Do you have any cool Patrick Mahomes stories too?
I mean, Andy Reid's offense is amazing. I love everything. So it's so weird because offense coordinators usually come in and like demonstrate, or like draw on the board what plays we're doing. It's Andy Reid that's going in there and doing that. He's installing, for the week of what plays we're going to be running, and he kind of makes sure everyone is on the same page and everyone is locked into what exactly he wants. So he has a great mindset, great offensive, mind, and he can make plays happen. And Patrick Mahomes, I love him. He's a great dude. Any cool stories I've had? He's just a champion day in and day out. I mean, there's he takes his job very seriously. There's laughs here and there, and he's always having fun. That's the main thing that I've seen from him.
I got another question for you. What was the ride home back to Arlington like? Because we all saw everything that happened, when the game ended. And I know, listen, this is just my personal opinion. There was nothing wrong with a little chippiness, okay? But I know it was getting ugly at one point. But I'm like, there was nothing wrong with a little chippiness because that brings in the rivalry factor.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Excitement.
Yeah. So, do you think that has potentially brought a rivalry in the North Division?
We were just talking about that after the game in the locker room. We're like, did we just find a new rivalry? And everyone was like, yeah, I think we did. And it's the battle of the North. I love it. But on the plane ride, it was, everyone was kind of professional. Our guys were kind of like singing and laughing and scratching and stuff, and the back of the plane was pretty quiet. But that's just how it's gonna be, like for any situation. If you win or lose, and have to jump on the plane. So I'm glad everybody was smart and took care of their business and then got home safely.
Yeah. Now, Jordan, let me ask you this: you were here in 2020,
right?
I know you paid attention to social media. The whole Vipers standing, pooping up BS, right? But we never played the Vipers in 2020. We played the Defenders. Yeah. So, in my opinion, wouldn't the Defenders have always been our rival since we had already played the
I think so. I think just the fan base kind of made it the Vipers when we first started in 2020, like y'all said. But I think it's the DC Battlehawks. I think it's the the red versus the blue. I think that's like
look at you getting a little
never would have thought about it that way. I know you have the Vipers next week. We'll talk a little bit in that in just a second. But the following week, you're making your return back to St. Louis.
I can't
on
wait.
the 18th.
Yeah.
Are you penciling that day as a day that you're thinking about, like, woo, I'm in front of the hometown fans once again? And is there anything stewing in your mind with it coming up to that date?
I'm just excited to, play back in the Dome. I heard they got the upper decks, opened up, and I'm excited to see it actually packed out. And if we thought it was loud when it was the lower section, I can't wait to see what the upper section is about.
Yes, sir.
I'm just so excited to go back and play, and wondering if I'm going to get cheers or boos. So hope more cheers.
Champ says you never lost at the Dome, which that is true. You never lost at the Dome. But Jordan, here's how I'm predicting it, bro. No offense. I'm going to be decked out in my Battlehawks gear, but I'm also going to be wearing my Defenders hat because you're going to be there. I got to root for you, bro. I mean, I love you. I got to root for you. But here's how I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to get cheered. And then as soon as you drop that first dime on us, that big 58-yard dime, which I want to talk about, just that beautiful dime that you dropped into the pocket, I think then you might get booed. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think the emotions are going to be like when you walk out knowing you're wearing the red, as you say, coming across like how is that emotional? How's that emotionally going to be for you, really?
I think it's gonna be a surreal feeling, just kind of being back in that dome and just taking it all in. And that's what I did when I first stepped into it. I was like, wow, this is real, this is happening. So I think it's gonna hit me as soon as I step on the field in the dome. So I'm just excited. I mean, I can't wait. I just want to fast forward to next week.
Right. Yeah. Well, you can't do that. Don't overlook any teams.
Never.
Bro.
I never do that.
0-3. Let's not overlook any teams. You got Kevin saying he goes, I'm only going to root against King. LOL.
Yeah.
Got people fangirling over you and stuff. Yeah, this is great.
Jordan,
look, miss you, but you're going down. Look, the fans are ready for you to take a loss in the dome. But before we even get to that, as we're talking with Jordan Teamu, quarterback of the DC Defenders here on the X Fan Show.
Hold on, let's not forget the GOAT of the Battlehawks. The GOAT of Battlehawks. We should retire number 10 in the rafters. Nobody should ever be allowed to wear number 10 as a Battlehawk ever again because of Jordan.
Okay, all right. We'll say that. We'll say that. He brought 3 wins to the table, with the Battlehawks back in 2020, because a lot of people were very ecstatic having a quarterback like yourself a part of this team. Can you what was your biggest memory of 2020 when you were playing with the Battlehawks? Was it the dome crowd, or was it something like on the field that happened for you?
Honestly, it was honestly the dome crowd. I mean, when we first, so I will never get this out of my head. So when we first got to the stadium and there was flames, there was everybody like in Battlehawk gear and just having like that little like walk of champions like that we used to have at Ole Miss. It kind of felt like that similar way where there was a line of people just ready to greet us as soon as we got off because they were excited to have a football team in St. Louis. So just getting off of that and then going into the stadium and then just, hearing that stadium erupt was like my most favorite memory in 2020.
That's what's up. That's
now,
what's
Jordan, you've seen the beer snake. You've seen the beer snake a couple times now.
Right.
How impressive is the beer snake live?
It's pretty dope. It went like all the way up and then it kept going sideways too. That's how long it was. It was really cool. I'm glad they brought it back. And then we had like the lemon day.
Okay, explain that. Because we had the mayor there. You met the mayor with me in Vegas, right?
Right.
Like, explain Lemongate. Like, what was that like when they took the beer snake away and then all of a sudden you guys are getting pelted with lemons? What was that like?
We were wondering what was happening, and then then after the game we found out they took away the beer snake, and then apparently in all their drinks they had like half or full lemons in their drinks, and they're like, I don't know what, and then everyone just started just throwing it onto the field, and it was just they're like, give us the beer snake back and we'll stop throwing lemons. And
now, Jordan, help clear something up for me. I've been championing for Cashman Field, right? You played on Cashman Field. You played in the rain on Cashman Field, which was a great game. You and Derek King just literally ran over the Vipers team, right? Tell people, Cashman Field's really not that bad, and it's a very intimate place to watch a game and to play a game. Am I lying or am I right?
I mean, it was, when we first got there, it was a little, sketchy, just, seeing, how they made the field. But, I mean, honestly, I played in much worse. And, it was a football field. I'm glad we got to play on it. And our coach was like, it doesn't matter what's around us. It matters on, what's in the rectangle. And that's what we can control. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as everyone just making it out to be.
See, thank you, people. Thank you. You heard it from a guy.
I think he did that just because it was you. I think because he did. If anybody else said ask a question, he wouldn't have done that because it's you, Dirty. So he's being really nice to you at this point.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I'm an honest guy, though.
I love it.
And Jordan, I gotta say this: you and your dad, you're like his twin. That was crazy. Like when I looked at your dad, I'm like,
my dad.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, you really are Jordan Teamu's dad. He's like, yeah, would you think I was lying to you? I'm like, no, but you look just like him. It's crazy. So I gushed out
a lot of people, a lot of people say I look just like him now.
So now you're 3-0,
especially with the beard.
Yeah, exactly. So the Defenders are 3-0. Houston's 3-0. You have your big game coming up this week, as Arlington said, against the Vipers.
Yep.
You guys are back in DC. Like, what is the game plan? What are you guys doing? Because, it looks like Huntley is starting to learn that Vipers offense, right? So,
Yeah.
like, what is your guys' game plan? Because he's kind of similar to you and to King. He's kind of similar to you. So, like, what are you guys doing? How are you guys game planning for that one?
Yeah, the great thing about it is that our defense is going against me and Derek King every single day. So they're gonna, see what, us on the run, throwing, RPOs, all of it. So hopefully we're gonna prepare them enough to, take care of Hunley and, go out there and play. And our defense is doing a wonderful job. They just got to keep it up. And, our emphasis this past game with the Battlehawks was, to help the defense out and they're gonna make plays and we got to make more plays. So. And that's what happens. And we just got to work together as a team, offense, defense, special teams, and just go out there, learn from our mistakes from the first time we played them, and jump on them early and stay on top.
Yeah, now go on.
Real quick before you go,
Yeah.
what have you learned from your head coach Reggie Barlow? Like, what is insight has he given you?
I learned,
Being a quarterback for this DC Defender team.
Honestly, I learned a lot of things. Like, every team meeting that we have, he's always spitting some type of knowledge and some type of way to, for us to take home. And one thing that stood out is, he was like, we want to win. So what does win stand for? What's important now? And that kind of was a huge thing for me. It was like, what's important now? Like, not what's important tomorrow. Like, what's important now? That's what we win. And we're gonna take that day by day, week by week, and we're gonna focus on what's important to us right now as as a team. And I think that's the main thing to be, as a player. It's just to focus on what's right now instead of what's ahead or what's behind, but let's try to get better from it. So
all right, Jordan,
Excellent.
we know you got to go. Thank you for the little bit of time.
yes, sir.
you give
You're
us,
welcome.
brother. Hey, much love from us here at the X Fan Show. We love you, bro, and we're going to be rooting for you. I mean, I'm going to be torn come February 18th. I'll be wearing my Battlehawk stuff, but I'll be rocking my Defenders hat. I'm going to be torn, cheering for you, bro. But I have to. Much love to you, man, and best of luck to you.
Appreciate you, Dirty. Appreciate you, A-Train. Love you guys. See you guys on the dome.
All right, bro.
man.
All right, man.
There you guys go. Jordan Ta'amu, the man, the legend. The dude's still the GOAT here in St. Louis. He's still the GOAT in St. Louis, right?
He's still high. He's still high on people's minds in St. Louis. A lot of people were, not too happy when he signed with the DC Defenders. But listen,
listen. In all honesty, I think the DC Defenders is the team that fit Jordan the best.
Yes,
To be honest with you,
and having being in a 2-quarterback system for him, as you can see, is growing and they're getting better each week. As a matter of fact, the thing we did not say was they were part of the highest scoring game in the XFL at 62 points. And the fact that the DC Defenders was the team that got the W and they moved to 3-0 in the North Division. As we can see right here, these are the standings as we are into week number 4. You see DC, St. Louis, Seattle, and Vegas at 0-3. And of course, if you're looking down at the layout at the bottom, you can see all of the scores from week 3. There they are.
And says, Dirty, or wait, you moved it right there. The Dirty has a man crush. Honestly, I can't blame him. I have moved on. In AJ, we trust. Well, it's funny you're going to say that because we are going to break this down and everything. Kyle, I don't think I would be too worried about your Sea Dragons, which we are going to talk about that. So me and Arlington have decided we're going to change up the X Fan Show a little more, because we are the X. We X out all podcasts because we are a live video cast. Let's really talk about it. We had Jordan and the Battlehawks. Arlington, we had said on this show that Luck wasn't going to stay on the Battlehawks side, right? Luck wasn't going to stay on their side for long.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have been very critical of the team and of, the offense that we have, right?
Uh-huh.
But I have to say this. This was the first complete game that A.J. McCarron had put together.
That's facts. That is a
The first
fact.
complete game that A.J.
fact.
McCarron put
And
together.
I would say this: one of the things that was missing, they need a speed burner. The Battlehawks need somebody with some speed. Don't get me wrong, Darius Shepard did a fantastic job.
He did a
Yeah,
great
and also, yeah, and I get it, champ. Yeah, everybody is on Hageman's head about his kicks, and you know, let's just get an understanding here. All the kickers in the XFL, believe it or not, have a lot of pressure on them because they have to make certain kicks.
Yes.
They have to have a certain type of kick. And, you know, and I know when it gets down to kicking field goals, I know they've been practicing a lot on that, but you also have to understand they have a lot of pressure making sure that they can make kicks and make them count. And so guys like Danny Hageman, Taylor Russolino over in Arlington, I can't think of my guy, was it Duplessis? They all got pressure on them. Okay, they got a lot of pressure on them. I get it. That's the only thing that they got is that's their job. I get that.
So here, Arlington, I want to give you something about this DC game and Battlehawk game. Both teams. So I'm gonna Battlehawks would be the first number I read.
Stop. I want to get on Good Doctor. Let me see you make a kick. You make a kick in pressure situations, and then you can talk. Until then, shut your mouth.
I don't think I don't think he get his leg up.
I don't think he can get his leg up. So that is what are you talking about? Thank you. You can't even get your leg up. You can't even get it past your waist. Miss me with that.
Stop making excuses, A-Train. A kicker's job is to make
a kick.
It's my job.
You make a kick. Exactly.
Job. But anyway, so let's really look at this. Both teams are even on total plays, 63 to 64, right? Total yards, 295 to 342.
Right.
Yards per play, 4.753. First downs, almost equal again, 16 of 18. First down passing, 14 of 9. But here's where it gets a little lopsided. First down rushings, 2 to 9.
Yeah, it was really, and that was the thing. And we talked about that. Was the main thing on that Battlehawks defense was stopping the run. And it was going to be hard because, like we said about the defenders, they are very deceptive when it comes to their run game because you don't know who's going to get the ball at any given point, whether it's going to be the quarterback or the running back, or if they do an end arounds or anything of that nature. They are very deceptive when it comes to their run game.
Right. Now, here's what we've seen is so far in this, right? So let's really look at this. The defenders had 4 sacks and allowed 23 lost yards, right? So the thing is AJ standing back there. Yes, AJ had his best game to date, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, right? But what we're seeing is the pocket quarterbacks are really getting rushed because of the offensive lines in these leagues, okay?
Right.
So I think that's what is doing it. If you're going to have a good run game and a mobile quarterback in this league, I think you're going to do good. You're going to have a decent record.
And I think that because after week 3, the offensive line play has gotten a whole lot better. Let's just be honest with ourselves. It's gotten a whole lot better, and just teams starting to execute more because the other team is the Houston Roughnecks. The Houston Roughnecks right now are the most complete team in the XFL. I'm sorry, it ain't Jordan's defenders. They're a close second, but they're not the most complete team.
Well, that's funny that you say that because I want to pull up some stats, and I agree with you that the Roughnecks are, and we're going to talk about that. And I know that you and Colin will get more into it on the Rough 'em Up podcast that drops on Thursdays. But I mean, let's look at this. We're going to go to defense, and to be honest, the defense is what won that game for DC, right? But they have a total tackle of 127 tackles. They are actually number 3 to the Battlehawks and the Vipers, which the Vipers have 151, Battlehawks have 150, and then the Defenders at 127.
Actually, The third in tackles.
But here's where the telling stat is. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
10 sacks. 10 sacks. They're number 2 in sacks.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when it comes to their fumble ratio, they have 4 fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries.
Yep.
Okay? And then for interceptions, they have a total of 4 with 2 pick sixes on those, out of those 4.
Thanks to Michael Joseph. Michael Joseph has been probably Michael Joseph probably right now has been the defensive MVP for that DC Defender defense.
Oh,
and so I'm like, if you're gonna throw to him, you better make sure you find a way to get around that, because that dude there is right now is going to be one of the guys that many NFL scouts are going to be looking for to seeing him play a little bit more in the NFL, especially if he keeps doing well right now.
All right, so we got that game out of the way, right? I mean, look, and then listen, you guys, all the Battlehawk fans on here, you can say what you want. Though, listen, you don't do this when you've had 2 comebacks in the last minute and a half. As a coaching staff, you don't do this.
We get it. We get it. I get it. I get it, man. Listen, I get it. You can't hear it. You can't understand it. You can't understand it. I figured he was gonna put that stat up. Put your headset back on. I figured that stat was coming because I saw it myself. I saw the 3 for 3 and 4 for 5. He was gonna say, "Make the damn game, yeah." He just wanted to make his little
I gotta agree with him. Look, Coach Beck, I love you, bro, but you've had 2 of these games, 2 of your games. Shut up, Jarrett. You've had 2 of these games where you've had come behind wins. Why the hell are you taking your headset off in the last minute of the game? Why? When you've proven in the last minute and a half of a game.
Hey, they almost pulled it out, though. They almost pulled it out, though. Don't sit there and act like that. All right.
Now,
I got to talk about that Houston team.
Well, hold on. We're going to do it in an order. Remember?
You want to do it in order? I don't want to do it in order. So we got to go back and do the first game then between Seattle and Vegas.
Right, because we had Jordan. That's why we kind of skipped it. So now you got Vegas and Seattle. Yeah,
Ben DiNucci did a fantastic job with his 4 touchdowns. Probably the best efficient game of week 3 and probably the XFL period.
Mm-hmm.
Very good job. Hey, Josh Gordon with 2 touchdown receptions. Fantastic. I mean, especially the last one that he picked up was probably one of the best catches of the night. And my goodness.
Where he shimmied around everybody.
Yes. It was crazy. But don't get me wrong, Vegas was in that game.
Vegas played a great game. You're right, Brian. Vegas played a great game.
They were in it the entire game. And Brett Hundley really starting to get his groove in with this Vegas offense, and I think the next go around when they're playing against DC is going to be it's going to be a lot different than it was during week 2.
Yes.
So,
and I think it's the same with the Vipers. I think it's the same as the Vipers, because remember, Arlington, I said Hundley's going to be that starter. He's going to be the starter of that team, right? And, speaking of Hundley, I mean, let's really look at what Hundley did, because Hundley did not have a bad game. 13 for 28, 224, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also, 8 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. That guy was out there balling and having a fun.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was having fun out there. And one of my main things is right now, I get it. Martavis Bryant is not getting a lot of looks because he is the guy right now. That means for Vegas, they have to make sure they open it up to their other receivers and make them threats, so that way it can open up for Bryant. Because that is what happened that is the way that happened for Seattle. Remember, Josh Gordon was not too long ago, he was a league leader in receiving yards, right? So what happened was you have a guy like Pearson on the outside. They are getting the ball to him, which leaves Josh Gordon chances to get the ball when you start thinking about Pearson.
99 yards for Pearson. 7 receptions, 99 yards.
So yeah, 7 receptions for him, and then what? Josh Gordon 6 receptions. I think it was a $107, was it not?
118
Oh,
with
118.
two
Oh,
TDs.
see, I'm lowballing them a bit, but still, the thing is, he still got the 2 touchdowns. That was the main thing for him, and they
It's
opened
funny
up their
that
offense.
right here about Martavius Bryant, right? He was just featured on the Player 54, and it was very interesting because I watched it. I didn't realize the story that this kid had and the upbringing that he had. And I think as this year goes on, as you're starting to see with Bryant, that he is actually going to start getting better with guys like Rod Woodson leading him and Brent Huntley leading him. Because I really think this Viper team, with Huntley at the helm, can go 5-5. Can go 5-5. I really do believe that.
Okay.
I think they could turn it around by just, I mean, again, like, look, if you could pair the yardage that these guys at each team had, right? Again, first team will be Seattle, second team will be Vegas. 63, 59 total plays, 519 to 343 on total yards. Yards per play, 8.2 to 5.8. First downs, 22 to 15. First
But you
down
get that.
passes.
There's one stat you just nailed it, and this is what everybody was talking about before the season even began, was how Seattle's offense was going to be. 519 total yards, 377 from Ben DiNucci, and 143 on the ground. 103 from Morgan Ellison by himself, who stepped in and did a fantastic job. Like, I was looking for him to get the ball a few more times during that games, kind of just throw off the Vegas defense, but he still did a phenomenal job at 103.
Yeah, the Brian Hill rock bottom was a pretty good celebration, which we'll talk about that game if there's really much to talk about on that game. But I mean,
game. It came with the same game.
Right, yeah. This Vegas team and Seattle team, now I think with the people that they have in place, right, for both teams, I think, June Jones has said, my foot is on the gas pedal the entire time. And I think that's why we have seen what we've seen from DiNucci, right? We see that they could just go, 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 and not stop at all, right?
Right.
And that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for this team.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I think would really, what Jones needs to do is really add Morgan Ellison to it more.
I mean, when he gave him the 103 is exactly what probably June Jones is thinking about. How can I continue to utilize him in this offense? I think he did get hurt at one point, and he was like dying, itching to get right back out there, because these guys have something to prove, and they want to make sure that a lot of NFL teams are looking at them and potentially needed some backup help at the running back position. And Morgan Ellison did a fantastic job with that on this past week. Just seeing his downfield running was fantastic. Even him knocking his own man down to get a run was even more, just as impressive. So that's what this Seattle team, I mean, don't put them out just yet, because they have I think they got this week the Brahmas. They got San Antonio at home, and so hopefully I'm hoping that the Seattle fans go out there and check them out, because that's a high-powered offense. And I know a lot of people were like, well, why is June Jones always going for 3? That was his MO ever since he walked into the XFL, was 3 points is what we're going for, win or lose. Yep. We're going to either make this work, or we just going to fail at it until we make it happen.
Said he's going to die by that.
Yes.
And
10 yards out.
I know Brian keeps putting up here Sean Price, the police officer from Ocala. Yeah, I mean, that's good, but he ain't done nothing. He hasn't done anything for the Vipers team.
Just yet.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm looking at stats. He ain't done nothing yet.
Just yet.
I mean, don't get me wrong, his story's great. He talked about that on Player 54. Story's great, but I mean, I want to talk about a player I want to actually talk about people who are actually having relevance, and right now, Sean Price is not having any relevance. So now, Arlington, are you ready for it?
What am I ready for?
What's up, Amanda? The Orlando Guardians versus the Renegades.
At one point I thought Orlando was gonna pull it out, man. I really did, because that would have been a great upset to start the week, especially with all the drama they have going on right now. And then the big news that came out, I think it was last night, was the fact that the Orlando Guardians signed Quentin Flowers.
Okay, really, is he going to help? Is he really
I
going to
think
help?
I think he can. I really think he can.
I mean,
But I don't know if he, it's going to be on what Barlow does. It's going to be on, no, excuse me, not Barlow, but Terrell Buckley, because right now he's stuck on Paxton Lynch, and he's just not getting the job done. You're going to have to switch it up at some point, man. And if you have to utilize Quentin Flowers like they do De'Aaron King in DC, do that. What's wrong with that?
Look, here's what I'm going to say. I don't think it matters with anything that Orlando does and who they bring in. I'm going to be honest with you.
You thinking the 0-10 is where they're headed, right?
I honestly do, because I don't think that they have the players to do it. I just don't. I really don't think they have the players to do it. That's just my opinion.
And speaking on the Arlington side, I saw a lot of conservativeness in that game. Like, not a lot of aggression. And here they are, they going right back to it. Like this run, pass type of offense. Like, start throwing the ball down the field, man. Kyle Sloter did a great job. Don't get me wrong. But they only scored 10 points. I mean, even Drew Plitt did better than that in the previous game than over Kyle Sloter.
I agree with you on that 100%. I'm trying to find, because there is a very telling, right? Yeah, exactly. Right here. Like he says, you can't expect a QB to come in off the street and be a factor right away. It won't matter. You can't polish a turd, which Quentin Flowers is a turd. But Brent Hundley came in, you polished him up real nice, and look what happened. The Vipers almost won that game, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to find the Kyle Sloter interview after the game, right?
Okay.
Which I found very, very telling. Because after the game, what he said, I was shocked by. He goes, I don't understand why we keep running the ball. You saw what happened when we air it out. We need to air it out more. Well, thank you, Mike, for watching this from XFL 3.0.
Hey, is that him calling out his offensive coordinator?
That's why I was going to ask you. Is it him calling him out? I mean what do you think?
I'm like, if you're trying to get the ball downfield and running is not working, you got to find a way to mix it up, right? Like some of these other teams have been able to do so. Seattle is one. It's like you said before. We said this, off air. You said right now Seattle sits better than the Arlington Renegades, and even though the Arlington Renegades have a better record.
Yes, I agree. I mean, am I looking at something wrong here? Or I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it. I mean, you're seeing the team gel more, in my opinion.
Hey, this was a good one. Probably calling out coach is never a good thing. Yeah, remember Matt McGloin?
Yeah, but this is a different kind of regime, though. This isn't a micromanaged regime like it was with another regime.
Right. So I mean, at the same time, it's looking like he just wants for the team to be better. What's wrong with that? Asking to do different, be a little bit different on it. And I'm giving him an excuse for that, but still, I'm like, hey. He wants to just win, not just win ball games, but he wants to get into the playoffs just like every other team in the XFL does.
Exactly.
They all want to get to the same spot. They all want a chance to play May 13th in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Now, I got the video, and I'm trying to get it. I couldn't pull it up on my ESPN on the computer, right? For some reason, it wasn't letting me pull it up. But now here is the last part of the interview. So I'm getting to the Kyle Sloter part of the interview, right?
Oh, you had the actual game itself?
Yeah, I'm at the actual game itself, and I'm going to have it go through my phone.
What you gonna play? Just play the audio is what you doing? Well,
Yeah.
well, why are you finding that 10-9 was the final score on that game? And I mean, if you're looking at it from an offensive standpoint, of course, there wasn't much offense.
All right, here it is.
As the starting quarterback, how would you assess what you felt today?
Yeah, it's always fun to come out here and play a game that you grew up as a kid dreaming of these moments like this and being with these guys. So a lot of fun out here, a lot of emotions, and watching one of my other friends, Paxton Lynch, try to lead his team on a last second or last minute comeback right there. I was sweating, so glad to get the win.
What do you think helped your offense get into a rhythm today that you guys haven't been able to do the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think in the fourth quarter we started throwing the ball, which, it's nice to not be in 3rd and 8s. And I feel like early in the game we kept getting ourselves into 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s. And, when we started throwing the ball because we needed to, we were able to gash them and get some yards and score a touchdown. So I think we just have to be probably a little bit more balanced, but that's something we'll talk about this week and we'll come back better next week.
So he didn't really call him out.
Out there, what do you feel like you can improve upon now that you did get the win as a starter?
Yeah, it's the same thing that I just said, is really just letting it fly. I feel like we were at times too complacent, and I feel like when we get some of these guys, I mean, we got great receivers, great tight ends, great running backs, put them in space. I think we got to do a little bit more of that. We tried to play power football with these guys.
So wait a minute, hold on. What I just heard was no, it's not what you was thinking, dude, at all.
Dude, hold on, bro.
That's not what he was doing at all, dude. What are you hearing?
He was calling him out, bro.
No, he was not.
Dude, saying we got too complacent. We needed to open it up more. You saw what we were doing when we opened it up. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. You don't think that's what that was, bro?
No, man.
Explain to me then, please. Enlighten.
Hey, basically, in my opinion, what he was doing, he was just pointing it out. That's all he was doing. He wasn't calling out nobody. It's just that we need to improve on that. That's all that was, man. Just improve on that.
Listen.
Just improve on that. That's all. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And I know he sees it. He sees it. There ain't no call out. He's not calling nobody out. He didn't calling out no coaches. That's not calling out coaches,
man. You
can
say what you want.
Hey,
you guys are listening.
He didn't say anybody by name or nothing.
That's why all these fans are idiots. That's why you're an idiot. He was calling them out.
It's funny to me that we are the people that have the right mind, and you, sir, are being the biggest idiot out of the group here.
Listen,
it always takes one.
Hold on. Most of these fans that watch our show are not very bright. I'll say that. They're not very bright. They're kind of simpletons, I have to say.
I got one on this set right now.
Huh? Well, most of them are kind of simpletons. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing against you guys. I love yous, but you guys are simpletons. I still love yous. So I'm going to actually pull it up right here, courtesy of my Hulu. See, thank you, Woody. I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm always right. Everybody else is always wrong. So let me do something for you. I'm gonna.
You're never right, dude. You know that already.
Always right. Here, look. This is courtesy of my Hulu account.
Who gives a damn that Joe
in the XFL? So let me do this for you right here. Here's a guy who's overrated as a head coach.
Go ahead.
Let me get it to the part a little bit. Let me zoom it up a little. Here we go. Now you listen to this. This is gonna be better. I'll pull up it for you, right? Let me get to it. All right, here we go.
They did a great job up front. So I think we just got to probably air it out a little bit more. But I think, everybody's on the same page, and we're going to keep moving forward and getting better.
From your perspective, your defense there on that final
All right,
drive,
hold on. Let me back it up a little.
Yeah, out a little bit more. Put them in space.
Dude, you're going to get us flagged. Take this down.
A lot of emotions.
No, this is courtesy of my Hulu. I paid for
Get this down. You're going to get us flagged. Thank you.
He called them out. That's all I'm saying. He called them out. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Leonardo. Say that again. A guy who's always wrong would say he's always right, though, because he's wrong. Thank you.
Exactly. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about either at times, man.
Guns podcast tonight. They're a little upset because their team got their asses handed to them again by possibly possibly the best coach team in all of the XFL. Possibly.
All right.
The best
You
coach
saying
team.
possibly the best team? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Because you got that little stupid hat on? Is that what you telling me right now?
Possibly.
You saying possibly? Really? You really being that dumb today?
Are you ready? I'm going to give you some stats. Yes, you are absolutely right, Leo. The game was worse than the score because here's how it worked.
Well, I see the stats. I can see it just like you can. 374 to $162. Yeah, they held Jack Cohn under 100 yards. They only got 40% of his completions, right? But even with that said, they shut down the Brahmas, the Roughnecks offense in the second half. So I'm not taking away nothing from that.
I will give you that. Wade is the best coach in the XFL, period. And
we can sit here all day about that.
It's funny because Arlington, I'm not a very big fan of the 4-3 defense, right?
You mean the 3-4?
Yeah, the 3-4. I'm not a fan of it at all, right? But there's a really nice article that I was sent over to me, okay? And Wade Phillips, I did not realize it, but Wade Phillips is 4-3-4 defense, okay? Has produced some of the best sacking players in the NFL.
Okay.
Has been a staple in one of the best high-scoring, most stopped defenses in the world, right?
What are you getting at?
I'm just saying, dude, Wade Phillips, you look at what Wade Phillips is doing with that team in Houston. Dude, they literally might be the best defensive team out there. Now, look,
that is a big duh. Like, duh. You ain't saying nothing smart here.
Now, mind you, this.
You're not saying anything smart.
Listen.
Say something smart.
I'm getting ready to. Here's a funny stat. What team do you think has the least amount of tackles in the XFL?
The least amount of tackles or the most?
Least amount of tackles.
What does that got to do with anything?
Answer the question. What team do you think has the least amount of tackles?
The Guardians. I'll just throw that out there. Come on.
Nope. The Houston Roughnecks at 112.
Okay.
But they have 13 sacks.
Okay.
20 tackles for losses.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Impressive, right?
Right. So you're saying the efficiency. Okay. Keep talking.
Now, they have the least amount of fumbles.
What does that have to do with anything?
But hold on. But interceptions, they have the most for interceptions at 5.
Okay. That lets you know right there, sir, that defense is phenomenal. And they're doing it efficiently. They don't need a bunch of tackles to get a tackle for loss. They don't need a bunch of tackles to make sacks. Get to the point. What's the point?
The point is the team is the most efficient defense.
So, okay. Pause. Since you said that, why did you say that they were probably the best team? When you're just sitting here, you're spitting facts on what they've done. You can't sit there and say that they are probably the best team. They are the best team.
Listen to this clown. Kiss my ass.
Hey, this is a daytime show. Seriously, though, you already see it. You see it right here. The efficiency with this roughneck defense.
Exactly.
It's the best defense. And they have practically the best offense, which was even more hilarious to me, was the fact that they were shut down by the Brahmas in the second half. That's the only thing.
Offense. They have the second best offense in the entire league.
Okay. They're right under Seattle because Seattle right now is airing it out. And don't get me wrong, with the 278 from Brandon Silvers this past week, it was phenomenal. And he was, man, listen, Jonte Kirkland and DeAndre Burnett are by far two of the best receivers in the XFL right now. They're
No,
two of the best.
hands
And
down they are. Hands
I
down.
love how in that first half Silvers was carving up that Brahma defense, just carving them up. And so that's what I was expecting in the second half. You got to keep going. Just remember to keep your foot on their necks. Because even though you stopped Jack Cohn and held him under 100 yards, which was even more phenomenal, you have to make sure that you keep your foot on the neck when you're playing on offense too.
So here's the funny thing. You talk about their receivers, right, Arlington? The Roughnecks have 3 receivers in the top 10. 3
Correct.
receivers. Kirkland at 204 with 13 receptions, 204, right? Burnett with 11 receptions, 125, and that Max, their running back coming off of the slot and out of the slot with the screens, 10 receptions for 64 yards. That team, that Houston team, is the best team, best well-coached team out there. The only problem this team is going to have is a man by the name of number 12, Brandon Silvers.
You think he's going to bring them down, is what you tell him?
He is going to be their only problem.
Why? Do you know?
Prima donna.
Man, he didn't show no signs of being a prima donna at the press conference.
That's true.
No signs of that.
You were there.
Exactly. He didn't show no signs of being a prima donna. And he was real cool towards me after the press conference over. So seeing him as a prima donna, you know what? I don't see it. Right? I don't see that at all. Wade Phillips, great guy as well, man. Great guy. You can't sit there and tell me that dude is a prima donna. He wants to win. That's what that's about, and that's where his focus is. And that's the only thing it should be at this point.
Look, you know me. I said that Silvers is the MVP so far of this league, right? He's put together the most complete.
No, you didn't. You said Ben DiNucci. How you keep switching it up?
Not last week.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
You did. What are you talking about?
No, I did not. Remember, I even had to apologize to the mayor because the mayor hates Brandon Silvers, and I said it was Brandon Silvers.
No.
Yes,
You sat there and said Ben DiNucci.
No, mayor. Chime in. I did not say it was the.
He's already chiming in, but you said Ben DiNucci. You was all over Ben DiNucci. Don't sit there and lie now, man.
Week 1.
No, you did not.
Yes,
why are you lying? You blatantly lying on this show.
Chime in.
You are blatantly lying on this show.
I said
I cannot believe you.
No, I said Silvers is what I said.
You did not.
Silvers.
You did not say he was an MVP. But anyway, in retrospect, hey, Houston right now the most complete team.
Oh, hands down.
Because they're well coached. Thank you for jumping on board now.
Listen.
No, you haven't.
Don't even give me that shit. Don't even give me that shit because at the beginning of the season, you were saying, why we're not on the right? Why do you have us messed up? Why are we not on the right?
You did that.
Oh, why didn't you fix this? There we go.
You did that.
I just realized I wasn't on my little cartoon guy and you weren't on yours. So
okay, but still though, my point is this: you was all over DiNucci. Just from what you seen him in Seattle.
The Nooch is good. The Nooch is good.
Okay, then stay with your pick. Don't go moving over to Brandon Silvers now.
I'm telling you, I said Brandon Silvers.
Well, this is what I will admit to. I'll admit to this. I did say that the Roughnecks didn't look like they were going to be the team to beat until I saw that defense and what they did to Orlando. Their first 3 opponents is what they've done. And they've held their teams under 15 points. That lets you know right there that defense is marked for a championship. They are really going to be looking at getting in San Antonio.
Now, look,
I would not be surprised.
About this, Arlington. You tell me. Like I said, the only thing, yes, you're right. Hageman will definitely not be the MVP of this league. He'll get the most improved award by the end of the year. Let's really look at this Houston. Let's look at this Houston team, right? See, right here. Here's what the mayor says right here. Can Houston win on the road and can Houston win in the North? Okay?
I know they're playing against Orlando next week.
Which now, if you remember, now think about this, Arlington. This will be the first time that 2 divisions, the South and the North, have 2 teams complete their sets. Houston and Orlando, and Vegas versus DC. So that'd be they won't see each other the rest of the year. Those
Right.
four teams will not see each other the rest of the year, right? So let's look at this with Houston, okay? And this is something you and Colin I want to talk that I want you and Colin to talk about. And I'm going to bring it up to you because we got time. We got one more to go, right? So Houston plays the Guardians. I think they should beat the Guardians without hands down. Beat the Guardians, right? I don't think we should have a problem with the Guardians. Week 5, they go into Seattle. I could see that being their first loss. Hazlitt going up against Phillips. Williams going up against June Jones. That could be maybe their first loss. So that would put them at 4-1, okay? Then they go to DC. Now, the way DC is playing with the constant running the ball and all of that stuff, right? That's another one where I could see them losing against DC because of that DC team, right? And the way that they play the ball and the way that they run that ball, okay? So now we go to – so that would put him at 4-2, right? Week 7, and this is what I want you in Colin to talk about. Week 7, the Battlehawks go there to Houston. I don't see the Battlehawks beating Houston in Houston. I don't see it.
Okay.
Wade Phillips is the most experienced, so that'll put him at 5-2. Week 7 or week 8, they go to the Brahmas. I'm sorry, but the way the Brahmas are playing, I don't see the Brahmas beating Houston. I don't see them beating Houston.
Okay.
And then you have them against the Vipers. I don't see the Vipers beating them. And then in the last week, you have them against the Renegades. And I don't see the Renegades winning them.
So you're looking at 8-2 as the record for them.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, I mean, right here, like Leo says, Brahma's got a lot of work to do. I agree.
Can Houston win in the North? Yeah, absolutely, they can win in the North. There's no question about that.
Mayor says they can, but
hey, this team can also go undefeated and still showcase. And that would be the biggest ha-ha laugh for me over everybody else, because I would have never expected that. But one game at a time. If you saw the press conference with Wade Phillips and Brandon Silvers, and I think it was Max Borghi that came in, they were letting you know what the camaraderie is like in the locker room. They are all here to win. And that is the big thing. Go back and look at it. Go back and look at the press conference.
Listen, Robert, listen.
Hey, and this is what I'm going to say.
I love the Brahmas. I'm a Brahmas fan. I'm just saying, from what I watched, I don't see it. And I mean, just like Leo says, they can beat them. San Antonio can beat them in San Antonio. But look, they barely got out of St. Louis barely got out of San Antonio with the win. And right now, we are not a very well-coached team. Houston is a very well-coached team.
I get that.
Offensively and defensively.
I get that. But here's the thing for the Brahmas. And again, that press conference with Hines Ward.
Beat a middle-of-the-road NFL team. No.
I don't think they can be a low-ended team. That's bad. I don't think they could beat the Chicago Bears. But anyway,
yeah, right, exactly. I don't think so either.
The thing is, the Brahmas, one of the main things that happened was in the second half, and when they had the ball on the 1-yard line. And I remember asking Hines Ward, what was the thought process? Did you ever think of taking 3 points, like the field goal, and then try to go back on a 4th and 15? And he was like, no. He thought at that moment, punching it in and then going for 3. That's all he had in his head.
All he had on his mind.
That's all he had in his head, was making sure that they could get the ball punched in. And that Houston defense swarmed up and got him each time. So, and he said that loss was on him.
Yes.
Because he chose to keep going. And I'm like, if you got these unique rules in the XFL, why don't you use them? He said because of the game flow at the time, all he thought about was punching it in. That's all he thought about. And I've heard my guy, I think Leo told me when we were at the game, he said, one of the things was if you have these XFL rules, use them. Use them to your advantage. What was wrong with going with a potential 4th and 15 at that moment?
Oh, shit. Daddy Ed's in here chiming in. And look, I agree with you. It does. All it takes is an injury or two to change the total landscape of a season. I completely agree with that. A team is never as consistent to their level of play, so to predict the rest of the season right now is impossible. You're right. It is. I'm just saying, if in a perfect world, if everybody stays healthy,
I beg to differ, Van, because when talking to Silver's talk to everybody else, he was engaging in that press conference. So I know a lot of people looked at him as he wasn't involved. He was involved in that press conference, and I seen it myself. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see why everybody think this guy's a prima donna when he's sitting there. He's asking questions because he didn't have to answer them if he wanted to. He didn't have to answer no questions. He could have just sat there and just said nothing. But he engaged in that conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Arlington, I see somebody had chimed in here, and you know me, I hate when people want to talk about TV ratings and all of this. And Champ, I love you. I love you, Champ. Right here, he says that Houston deserves more people at their home games. Do y'all think to getting more fans in Houston to come out?
Go ahead.
Here's what Arlington, get your calculator out because I want you to do something for me, okay? I want you to do something. Because remember, I said if the XFL can draw 40,000 people per weekend, they would be doing good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
wait, hold on. Here's something for you. So that way you can kind of
let's go with the TV ratings, okay? Let's
You want to do that first, or you want to do the attendance?
No, because it's kind of the same thing. So go with the TV ratings because I want to show something here. So pull up the TV ratings.
We ain't got I don't have it. You had it. Because it just came out today. It just came out today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's funny because I think I could get it.
I got the numbers on hand. So
all right, well, give the numbers because let's remember, we all talked about it. Look, this has been no marketing. The XFL has done no marketing of any of these teams, really.
They haven't done a lot. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Because some of them are just out there.
Right.
But from a TV rating standpoint, the top game was the Defenders and the Battlehawks at 665,085. Then second was the Guardians and the Renegades at 550. Then you had San Antonio Houston at 543. And then you had the first game, Sea Dragons at Vegas at 528. So 528,000. So we said anything over 500,000 was considered a win. And you have to remember all those games. Those 3 games mentioned were on FX.
Thank you.
That's a win for them.
Okay, you're right, good doctor. There's been limited marketing now that the season is started.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Before the season started, there was no marketing.
No. Okay, listen.
Little.
Right. And again, they shall be called out on it. But my thing is this.
The only reason why they're at Dick's is because Project Rock has an exclusive thing with Under Armour, and Under Armour is a proud sponsor of Dick's. That's the only reason why they're in Dick's is because of the Rock's name. Only reason why they're in Dick's. Only reason. That is, listen, I agree with you.
It's limited marketing. When I said that, you can say there's no marketing. You can just say no marketing, man.
Okay, but before the season started, no marketing. Now that the season started, it's been limited marketing. And here's why how I'm going to explain this. So you got your calculator ready, right, Arlington?
Okay.
Okay, so now remember, I had said that they're going to at least need 400,000 to 500,000 fans in attendance for the games, right? Okay. The mayor had come on the show, right, champ, more viewership than the USFL had in. Again, idiot, I said that is marketing. I changed my statement. I said, you're right. They have had limited marketing. So quit typing in all text and quit getting your sciatic all in an uproar. You'll throw your back out again. Anyways, I still love you. Anyways. And check out the Good Doctor's reviews. You can find them on our page on the X Fan Show where he does the Good Doctor #TalksXFL. And he's got a big interview coming up with a very big, prominent WWE superstar coming up very soon. So be paying attention to that for Review VSTL and Review Kansas City. Okay, Arlington, we've had the mayor come on the show, and the mayor said that if they can get 500,000 for the year, right? That would be a success. I said me and you had said between 400 and 500,000, right?
Okay.
Viewership for attendance, okay?
Yeah, you
So
said
here's
500,000.
week 1. So I want you to do the number. Okay, you ready? So put all these numbers in. Are you ready?
Right.
So 12,047.
I got the numbers. Just you want the numbers? I'll give you the numbers.
No,
You
give
ready?
me add all of that together. How much is that so far?
So
That's what
far,
I'm
it's 147,263.
now divide that by 3 because we're 3 weeks, correct?
The average right now is 12,272.
That's weekly. That's weekly.
That's weekly.
That's per game.
Yeah, 12,000 per
No,
week.
Do all 3 weeks now. We're doing a season so far attendance.
Dude, that's the average. 12,272. I just gave you that.
Hold on. That's impossible.
You want to know how?
Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, right in front of you is the attendance. There it is. You see the numbers? It's right there in front of you.
Now hold on, dude. Look.
There are the numbers. It's right there.
Hold on. You said 147,000,
That's
right?
the total. That is the total right now as we sit. There,
Okay.
there it is. You can see it. Look on your screen.
That's by the week. I'm talking total attendance.
There it is. It says the total attendance. It's right there in front of you.
So take the total attendance. We're going for the year. We're going for
There it is. Are you not seeing it?
You're telling me 147.
263 is the total attendance so far.
Okay, divide that by 3.
There's the number. All you gotta do is look at the average down there on the right next to it. That's the average.
Per game. That's per game.
Yes.
I'm not talking about per game. I'm talking about for the entire week. This is for per game. The average attendance.
There it is. It's down there. And look at week 3. Are you that dense?
Now.
You see week 3's attendance? There it is.
Okay, now take 147, 263.
Hey, if you want to be a co-host on the show next week, email me at xfanshow@gmail.com. If you want to be a co-host on the show next week, email me at xfanshow@gmail.com. This is insanity. I can't understand it.
Hold on, we have a serious question right here. It said, "What if?" And I hate if, but what if the Beatles lay an egg on Sunday? No,
nope.
I think
nope.
At least 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Nope.
Okay.
It'll be if they get 2 losses, then I'll say it'll hurt.
Back up. Put the numbers back up. Okay, let me take this off. Right. Tell me what the average is per game.
The average per game for what? See, because now you have to get for the entire season or for the week.
What is the average attendance for the entire season?
12,272.
For the whole season.
12,272.
Listen, I'm not going by per game. I'm going by all 4 games. What is the average attendance?
11,391.
No, that's not, because if all 4 games up to, or if all these games right here equal the 147, right here, the total, right here, right? That is for the whole season so far, right? This is done by games per week. What is this average right here for the whole weekend? Take that number, 147, 263, and what's that number?
You can't. It's right there.
Look.
It's right there.
Divide.
You don't see that 1270?
Look, Kevin says it right here. Divide 147 by 3. So divide this number, 147.
You trying to do the average week? Are you serious? You trying to do those? How can you?
Look.
Dude, your question is wrong. Your question is wrong, man. Your question is wrong.
Tell me what the average is per week, not per game, per week. The attendance. There you go. Thank you, good doctor.
So you want the week? You wanted the week total.
Yes.
49,000.
I don't want the average per game. I know it's only 12,000. I want it per week because I want to show you something. What did we say that the XFL would be successful if they had between 400 and 500,000 for the entire season? Correct.
Correct.
Now.
We ain't even at the halfway point, man.
Hold on. Take 49,087 times that by 10. And how much would we have?
Be right at that threshold.
Exactly. So for people to sit here and say, and people sit here and complain and say, the XFL ain't going to survive, the XFL ain't going to do this, they're right on par with their numbers, just like the mayor said. Right now, they're at 228 behind their average per game. Okay?
It does hurt. Yes, Andrew, my head hurts too, man.
Again,
It's dirty math again. It's dirty math is what we get.
Yeah, like, look, right? No, it's not. It's right. That's 150,000 right there. This week alone with the Battlehawks and the Brahmas playing at home, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
I'm guaranteeing you.
That could potentially put them over 200,000 just with those 2 games alone.
Guarantee you it's over those 2 games alone. Hold on. Is that right? No, the Brahmas aren't. It's just that they're not. So let's do this. The weekend that the Brahmas and the Battlehawks play at home, right? Which would be
if you add, let's just say 30,000 show up and then 25,000 show up for San Antonio, right? That's 55,000 right there.
Mm-hmm. Right
so
there.
You're looking at over 200,000 fans, man.
660. They'll have 65,000 plus, right? I'm not worried about the weekly average of what's at a game. I'm not worried about that. I'm looking at the season in a whole. Okay? I'm looking at the season as the whole. Okay? So right now, they're at 49,000 total attendance for the week in all 4 games. We had said, Arlington, if they were between 49...
Your math is weird, dude. Your math is absolutely freaking weird. It's weird. Weird.
Am I wrong?
You're weird. It's weird. I didn't say it was wrong. It's weird. You have a whole weird math concept. You have a weird math concept. That is the dumbest. That's not even... That is dumb. That's absolutely dumb.
Why? Why?
Because the average is right there. I gave you the averages. You
per game.
To look at them.
Per game, correct?
And we gave you the per game.
I said for the week of all 4 games. That's what everybody is comparing it to.
I'm out.
Is that what they're comparing it to?
I'm done, dog.
Answer the question. Is that what they're comparing it to? The USFL?
It's the average per game, man.
I'm doing it by the week. I'm doing it by the whole week for all 4 games.
Okay. So 49,000 is what you got, right? 49,000. All right.
So far.
All right. And it's going to exceed 50,000 come next week.
Oh, hands down it will. Hands down. Just from St. Louis alone. St. Louis alone. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll see. Hey, what day is that? Is that week 5 game?
The week 5 where they're both at home?
No. The game, it's the game the Brahmas are playing.
Yeah, I just said that.
That is week 5?
Week 5, March 18th and 19th. 18th and 19th, right?
No, I'm talking about the week 4, man. Oh, yeah, that is the week 5.
That's where
is that a Saturday? That's a Sunday, ain't it? Yeah, they really
Battlehawks play on Saturday, and the Brahmas play at 9 o'clock on Sunday.
That's bad. That's bad for business right there.
For who?
The league. You put a primetime game at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Who watching that?
They only have one game that day.
Who's watching that?
Here, you know what? I'm gonna make a speculation. You ready?
Who's watching that 9 o'clock at week 5? Because listen, the reason why this is March Madness. ESPN taking up. ESPN and ABC are taking their primetime slots because those are more proficient. ESPN is going to have women's college basketball. I think ABC is going to do their normal programming on Sunday. And you mean to tell me that's the best time that you could put out was 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock Central? Dude, this is still school nights. This is still a school night. This is the school night. Remember, if the XFL is talking about they want children to watch the games, 9 o'clock, half those kids are in the bed.
Right here. That's going to be interesting to see. So, with that being said,
that's my thing. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Look, are you ready? With that being said, I'm going to make a speculation. I'm speculating that we're going to see some time changes.
That would do the league good, but if you do it, you got to make sure it can accommodate fans, because remember, they're paying tickets for this.
That is true, but I think we're going to see some time changes, because if you saw earlier last week on the Rock's Twitter, he was basically said, we're in this for the long haul. LFG is what he said.
And so, yeah, man, that's got to change.
And I think this is what I think right here. I think we might. I'm not saying for sure. I don't know. I'm just speculating. We might see some kind of flex scheduling coming. Maybe, the good doctor says fans think the Rock show on Sunday. I have a feeling that the Rock will show on Sunday. And no, Brian, I don't think that.
But where?
You're
talking about to the St. Louis? Yeah, it'll probably be there.
And I don't think that WrestleMania is going to take any viewerships away from.
Yeah, because it's going to be separate. It's going to be
right.
separate.
You got to get out of your head that this has anything to do with WWE anymore, because it doesn't. And they're not going for the WWE wrestling fans anymore. They're not.
That died in 2018.
There you go. The good doctor says it's only going to take one viewer, and make sure you pay attention, because the good doctor is going to be in Las Vegas or Los Angeles covering WrestleMania.
Okay.
I'm just saying, covering WrestleMania. But look, it ain't going to take me away from the games. I know where I'm going to be April 1st.
Listen, everybody's phones and stuff, tablets, everything, have it on deck for both. If you're a wrestling fan and a football fan, you'll find a way to make more than one happen.
Yeah, Arlington, I know where I'm going to be April 1st.
That's right. No, we're gonna have to watch Mania there somehow.
I know where I'm going to be April 1st.
Yeah, I can't wait either, man.
So that's all I know.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to be watching on April 1st.
But where? That's going to be the question. Where are you going to be, dude?
Because if you look at this, April 2nd, they only have one game, and it's a 6 o'clock game. And it's DC versus Orlando.
Right.
So if you're a wrestling fan, what day do you think they're going to put Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes on?
The second night.
Thank you. So I know where I'll be April 1st, and I know what I'll be watching April 1st.
All right.
And I know what I'll be watching April 2nd on my way home. DC and the Guardians.
There you go. All right.
I mean, look, if I wanted
overtime,
to.
Overtime once again.
Right.
We'll have the picks for next week. For Thursday. We'll do the picks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Wrap this show up, brother. Get the music going, man. It's time to get up out of here, dude.
Hey, and if you idiots missed it, I don't know what to tell you.
Better go back and watch it.
Go back, because there was a nice little special guest in the beginning of the show. Should we ruin it for him, Arlington, or should you just tell him to go back and watch the beginning?
Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, if you guys didn't watch the beginning of the show, you're an idiot. I feel sorry for you. It was a really good interview, though, Arlington.
Yeah, it was. All right.
Really
hit the music, dude. We get out of here, man.
Do we?
Yeah, hit the music, man. I have someplace I have to be.
Dirty's math is always great. Arlington hates his math, but Arlington's is just as right. The XFL is succeeding, whether all you haters don't want to believe it or not. They are succeeding.
Thank you. Thank you for that, good doctor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, good doctor. So kiss our butts. I don't know what else to say, Arlington.
All right. Good.
I think I'm done.
Hit the music. What are you doing?
Yep, you're an idiot. You were late, Kevin.
Kevin saw it. He's just making it up.
Yep.
Kevin saw it. He was there.
I don't know where the music's at. What are we playing? What music are we playing today?
Dude, whatever music that you decide to get us out with.
Like this one?
I'm good with this. It's the X-Fan Show. See y'all on Thursday. Hey.
For more dirty math.
New co-host for Thursday, xfanshow@gmail.com. If I'm looking for one. Because Dirty Fire come Thursday.
Because Dirty will be back as always, because Dirty's always right.
I'm locking them out.
Somebody said throw up DX. Nobody wants to hear the good doctor because that dude's an idiot.
I'll get Daddy Ed if you want to come on, man.
I vote Ed. Beat-Hawk Live tomorrow. We're doing a live show for Murphy's on 21.
Oh, God.
And I am looking for a new co-host on Wednesday nights. So if you know somebody, please send your email to xfanshow@gmail.com.
He only saying it because I'm saying something about it.
I'm looking for a new co-host on Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. So please send your emails. Other than that,